Blessings, my people. Blessings once again for joining me for another of my adventures into the music and the feel of the island that generates and emanates this music. I'm totally grateful to Benjy Myaz, who has facilitated a glimpse into his world of music and musicians so that I may share it with the global massive, you know? One of these wonderful souls is Miss Cadia Gritton, a vocalist and a designer, clothing and jewelry, who's a backing vocalist in the band with Benjy Myaz. And we sat in Maytals Park, Kingston 20, and had a vibe. Here we have some looks of Rebel Salute in 2024, rehearsals and backstage, and we can listen to Cadia tell us her vibe and her story of music in Jamaica. Good morning, Miss Cadia Gritton.
Good morning.
All right.
Mr. Julian.
Thank you very much. Identify me. The first time I met you was last year at Rebel Salute rehearsals, doing backup for one Benjy Myaz. Yeah. So considering who you are with on that stage, you've done a few things in reggae music.
I would say so.
All right, give me a mini resume.
A mini resume. Well, mini resume. I started off as a lead singer, still a lead singer, but in the meantime, I love.
Take two. So, mini resume, lead singer.
Lead singer. Then I love doing harmony.
Right.
I've always been able to hear the different parts from I was a child, but I just didn't know that.
That's what you were doing.
That's what I was doing. So then I learned how to do harmony by there was a singer, I can't remember his name right now. An old time singer named Dudley from Trenchtown. One of my mentors, Homer Harris, sent me to him, and he taught me how to do 3-part and 5-part harmony. Which I'll always be grateful for to Dudley for that.
I feel like if you didn't know those different things, you wouldn't be singing with Mr. Benjy Myaz, another ear.
Benjy is the person who, because when you don't grow up in a musical family, so to speak, it's just something that you always wanted to do, but never,
Never worked for you.
Right, I never thought you could do it. And you wasn't formally trained in a music school or anything like that. You kind of have a lack of confidence, so to speak, especially when you're going up against some really brilliant musicians and singers.
Right.
But it was at a function I was, the first Jaria meeting in Jamaica, and a producer named Willie Lindo was at the meeting, and a question was posed, and some students from Edna Manley were there, and they were kind of acting to him or being condescending that they go to school formally, and he's never been to school, and he just simply said that you go to school what I have to learn what I was naturally born with.
Yeah, man. We're born with that thing.
We're born with that thing. So then it kind of made me think about the thing differently.
More confident.
Right. But it was when Benjy called me to, he did a song for Haiti when Haiti did had the earthquake.
Yes, I listened to it
and
last
he called me and asked me to come put some harmonies on it.
See.
So I was like, wow,
Right,
Benjy Myaz. But it wasn't even right there. So it was when I got to the studio, me thinking he's going to, because I've already learned that Benji's a perfectionist when it comes to music. So when I got to the studio and Benji was like, just go in there and do your thing. I was like, huh? So
they already have the idea of what you want to do. Yeah.
And that's when I realized, say, yeah, I'm a professional now, because Benjy Myaz is telling me to do my thing. That means something.
You can go on a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Even if I'm not,
what you think you should be, but him on one level.
But since then, I've learned so much, and even, being on stage with Benji, sometimes I get so caught up into what he's doing, because the music is just so great, and, it's like I forget that I'm working.
Oh, hey, let me sing here.
Yeah, and it's not a groupie thing nor nothing like that. It's just that, he's a awesome musician.
Yeah, well, we can come to him in a minute. We're not ready to talk about him. I don't get that opportunity enough. I hear it, but I don't get the opportunity enough to talk to women in not only the music industry, but the reggae music industry, and challenges you face.
I think the women in the reggae industry faces the same challenges as women in any industry.
See.
When you have males, and sometimes females, mix, they're going to use, their position or their influence or their power, to get what they want sexually. That's, to me, is just in any industry. It's for you as the woman,
stand your ground,
to understand which industry you want or you want to be in. Either you want to be in the sex industry or the music industry.
Yes, sir.
It can't be both and you still keep your dignity.
Yes, sir.
Because even the ones that have done it, and reach a certain status, is it worth it? Me love sleep comfortable in my bed at night time. And I know that I would not feel comfortable with myself, because when you can lie to everybody else, you can't lie to yourself. Never at no time.
Yeah.
So if you can live with it, fine. I know that me as a female couldn't live with myself knowing that I've done or degraded myself certain ways, and been with men who, I don't even like, right, just for a boss or a position.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So
caution to the young ladies out there, them words there.
Somebody made a statement one time that, I'm almost 50 and, boss it. And to me, what is boss? Because you don't have a #1 single? To me, that's just a put down to all musicians who are not world famous or have a #1 position. You understand? Or dip on Billboard or, anything else like that.
That brings me to my very next question.
Sure.
We'll lead right into it. First, this is a couple parts. What is your love for this music game? What keeps you coming back each day? Going to rehearsals, going to shows. What brings Cadia to this?
To me, music is life. It's the heartbeat. It's, as Dick Clark so rightly put it, it's the soundtrack to our life.
True thing.
It's something that it transcends language, it transcends culture, it transcends time. It transcends
memories.
all boundaries.
All my memories are in my music. When I hear that music, yes.
So music is just life. I don't know no other way to put it.
So you have no problems like you have to get up and do this damn thing.
It's the only thing.
Yeah.
And weed. It's the only thing that I am consistently.
Yeah.
As a Gemini, sometimes we ain't no good. It's like we're always dual in everything we do. But music is the only thing that no matter what time, all if me not getting up here. And that's why they say find a career that you love and you will never work a day in your life.
Yeah, I did that with Canadianreggaeworld. I did that coming here 2 years in a row and doing this and doing this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I don't think of this as work.
It's not, and for some reason, even though we may not be millionaires, but it keeps us surviving somehow, some way. You know, when people think that we have no ambition, and you know we're struggling, and them have to help we and Ray and this and that. It's what keeps us alive.
My skin teeth every day.
You know,
even when no even money.
No.
Oh, at this point too, I have to thank some of those people for me to make this trip. Friends and family donated.
Yeah.
People believe in you, they'll help you.
People will believe in you. Even a lot of family. I have some family that I have to thank. My dad, you know, my aunts and my uncles, you know, my cousin.
Same.
You know, I have one cousin, Donna, where pick up yourself, Donna, anywhere you're there in anywhere. You know, because over the years they've never, you know, forgotten about me or let me down or, you know, always been there and let me know. So, you know, I'm loved.
Keep you grounded and loved.
Yeah.
Second to last. It might be a longer one, but players of instruments, live performances, that is your life.
Yeah.
But, you know, the music industry has changed a whole lot. It led to the studios and beat making and perform with a microphone and a DJ.
Right.
Where do we go to bring that music back to the world? Live music, performances.
We have
to make it cool again.
We have to first go within ourselves. Yeah. I think that's where it starts.
Yeah.
We have to know, say cool and step out there. You know, and just do it and stop complaining. Say, you know, the fast beats and the electronic beats are taking over the world. What are we doing about it?
Yeah, why we not live we are
Well,
the same way.
them I do what them I do.
Good
You
talk.
understand? And
Good
they're not
talk.
they're not paying us no mind.
Good talk. While I fish this up here for a second, I never said that word, swim around. Tell me about your jewelry.
Oh.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Tell me about your jewelry making.
Okay, I make crochet, but my grandmother taught me how to crochet when I was 5 years old. Pick up yourself, Nanny, R.I.P. And from that, I just realized that I love to make things with my hands and get creative. So it actually started off as crochet. You know, I make crochet clothing. What I had on Rebel Salute, you can go back and see Benjy Myaz performance 2024 Rebel Salute.
I actually thought about that photograph this morning that I'm going to use in this when I piece this back together.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I met you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the reason I brought it up, people, is because Miss Cadia is going to be reggae for life. Right? And she has a couple of pieces that intrigue me so much. This one is a, what do you call it, clef?
G clef.
A G clef?
Yeah. Another G.
G clef, right? And some awesome pieces that I get to bring back to Toronto. Saying, we'll talk about how we get some of these beautiful things to reggae
and
for
these
life.
are these right here are things that I've made myself too. I just love being unique, and you know, there's so many ideas and so many things in the world. Everyone don't have to have on a uniform thing. Everybody can have their own uniqueness.
This one I took off her finger this morning. I took it off her finger. It's going to my son Dylan Ponders. This is a shirt. And Ali, I got you some stuff. Last but not least.
Sure.
This young man called Benjy Myaz. Benjy Myaz.
Yes.
Tell me about this man, musically. How you like? Okay, before I ask you, I have found the jazz situation in Jamaica was so much bigger back in the 70s when I was a kid. We've gone away from that with all that electronic stuff we've been talking about. Why aren't we doing this? My job, my goal, one of my goals is to bring that Jamaicans playing instruments. So whenever I spend time with Benjy, I find the responses to him from other artists and stuff to be on that level. So maybe I think that, like the jazz masters, I want to bring that out. So tell me about this virgin. Tell me what is it about him that moves you?
Away from the music, because everybody knows that Benjy is multi-talented. You know, all who don't know by now don't want to know and should check him out, because Benjy is, to me, one of Jamaica's most talented musicians ever.
I've heard that a few times.
You know, so that's one thing that, but I think what a lot of people don't know is how big of a heart Benjy has. Even he may not want to admit it at times, but Benjy has a huge heart.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's probably one of the things that has held him back too, because he goes out of his way to, even when we're on the road doing a show, or you know, he goes out of his way to make sure everybody around him is all right. You know, sometimes Benjy will come back broke, you know, from doing a show, because he has made sure that everybody I eat. Yeah. You know, which I've worked with other musicians, and it's about themselves first. You know, at all times. You know, and they will give the least, you know, so they can come out with the most. You know, but Benjy has never been like that to me. You know, and some people who don't deserve his kindness, Benjy overlooks that. You know, which sometimes I see he's a bigger person than me. You know, but you see, when people do things genuinely with love from their heart, that to me is bigger than any fame and fortune, you know, that a person may gain or can have.
I like that response so much, because when I speak of him, I'm talking about him musically. It's about the person. So, last but not least, Miss Cadia, Reggae for Life ambassador. Say, thank you.
I will wear it with pride.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Taking the time for me.
And thank you too for, you know, the opportunity. You know, I will forever appreciate it.
Thank you. I have no more words, but thank you. Thinking about what we did the other day on the street and sharing
that was
movement.
awesome. That was an awesome moment.
That's going to be historical. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Signing off. Love and bless up.